Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a very spring inspired glowy skin makeup tutorial. So we're going to be using this NYX Ultimate Bright eyeshadow palette. Surprisingly, this is my very first time using it. I picked it up at Target and I was like, this would be so cute for like a spring look. So I wanted to do a little bit something different because I feel like I do the same looks all the time, just using different eyeshadow palettes. But today I wanted to completely step out and do something orange and yellowy and just super feminine and beautiful. So we first took that very coral shade, and that was kind of like our transition color. And then now we're taking that super orange shade and applying this in the crease as well. Just very blended and very airbrushed. I do like this palette. I do feel like you have to build it up quite a bit. So if you have this palette, just take your time and really just apply as many layers as you can to this, because I feel like you definitely have to build the colors up in order to get that super pigment that you want. So now we're taking a little bit of a darker yellow just to kind of add a little bit more of like a yellow tint to the orange. This shade didn't really do much, but I feel like it kind of made like a gradient effect before we went in and added that really bright yellow. So we're just applying this in the crease as well. Everything is just super blended out and just very nice and soft. And before we apply our lid shade, we did go in and take a little bit of concealer. I always do this to cut my crease because it just allows for the eyeshadow to really pop and just make a difference between the lid and then the crease. So taking this concealer, carving out where I want it, and then applying that bright yellow shade and just really taking my time and packing that shade on there. We're going to be using our usual primers, the Smashbox Primer Oil, and then the L'Oreal Pro Lock Infallible Illuminating Primer. It's a super long name, but we really want like super dewy skin. So I'm bringing everything out. The primers, I'm going in with the Covergirl Healthy Elixir something vitalist foundation. I'll have it listed down below. And this is a super glowy foundation, but I'm also going to be putting these little luminous drops in it to make it like super dewy. Like I want it for real, like I look like I'm sweating basically. And right there is when I spilled all of that dewy drops onto my lap. So yes, I'm very clumsy, but here I'm just taking that foundation and the mixture that we did and just applying it with the sponge. Applying your foundation with the sponge is going to allow for even more hydration because the sponge is damp. So I'm just applying it and really just making sure it's nice and blended into the skin. And then for concealer today, we're going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I like this concealer. I do feel like it could be a little bit more coverage. Because I like full coverage, you know, as my highlighter, I have to go in and apply a lot of this concealer. So typically I would just like blend this in with another one that it has a lot more coverage. But because I want it to be super dewy, I just kind of took this one and just applied a lot of it. So next time I'll definitely apply another concealer. That way it's a lot more coverage. I don't have to put as much. But we're going to let that sit. That way we can just get a lot of coverage for it. And then we're going to be using the Bare Minerals contour concealer thing. This is the shade Deep Neutral. I did a review on this and I do really like it to contour, but I do not like this under my eyes. So while that Too Faced Born This Way concealer is drying a little bit, I'm just blending this out and this will be my contour. So just really take your time and, you know, go back and forth with brushes and make sure that your face makeup is nice and blended, because if you don't blend it out, you will regret it later. And then to set all that, we're going to be using the Becca Under Eye Setting Brightening Powder. I love this. It is very strong. I don't breathe whenever I'm applying it because I feel like I'm dying. But I'm just basically applying this everywhere where I applied my highlighter. So everywhere where I applied the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. And then I'll go over the Bare Minerals concealer with the ABH bronzer. So that's kind of how I do my makeup, is I set everything and then I'll go over my contour with a bronzer. That way my contour stays very pigmented and it lasts throughout the entire day. And then I wanted to do something a little bit different under my eyes. Instead of always taking black eyeliner, I took the orange eyeshadow that we used earlier and just ran this down my under eyes. I feel like it really made the look very feminine, very awake, and just glowy, you know, instead of taking black down there. And then we're just going to keep it with the orange vibe and go in with this Juvia's Place blush palette and apply this blush. I love this blush palette by Juvia's Place. Like, this thing is so freaking pigmented, so be very, very careful. And then here we're using the ABH Breezy highlighter. We went in with highlighter for sure. We did our eyes, we did under our brow bone, we did the cheeks, we did the forehead. I mean, just take your time and highlight everything. And then a trick that I actually did after I applied my highlighter was take that Real Technique sponge and just go over everything, because I feel like that really just makes your skin look even more dewy when you just take a damp sponge and just pack everything in your skin. Y'all see what I'm talking about, but that is a very, very trick if you want dewy skin. After you apply all your powders and all that stuff, just go in with a sponge that's damp and just tap all over your face, and it just makes your skin look like everything. Like, it doesn't even look like you're wearing makeup after you do that. Like, here's what I'm talking about. It is such a good trick, and it really just makes your skin just look like a baby. Yeah. And then for lips, we took a Dose of Colors lipstick. I think this is in the shade Sorbet. Super different for me. It's kind of like a coral. And then we just topped it off with this lip gloss from Becca. But that is the finished look. I feel like we really did that. Like, we did. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all in my next video.